Welcome to Lift Your Legacy. My name is Jacob Rupp, father, husband, and rabbi. And each week we bring you an inspiring person or message to help you unlock your inner potential and create change that will impact the future. Thank you for listening, and let's get to it. We have Duvi Honig, who is the founder and CEO of the Orthodox Jewish Chamber of Commerce, Duvi Expo, the Parnassah Network, Business Investment Center, Business Network Magazine. I'm sure quite a few other various things, but we're very excited to have you today. Thank you very much for joining me, Duvi.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so much. So one of the beautiful things, I want you to tell me a little bit about your vision in creating this Orthodox Jewish Chamber of Commerce. But what was so compelling, I read that you had been successful yourself in real estate, and then watching what was going on in 2008 when everything else was kind of falling apart, and how that destroyed people's lives. How did you see that as the moment when you wanted to jump in and really help the entrepreneur and help a person provide better for their family?
So first of all, I would like to say hello to everyone, all the viewers, and it's a great program. I'm honored to be here, and I would, be able to share all these insights.
Provide better for their family.
Really, I was literally finishing up an article for Forbes of networking, and you clicked, and before we started this, so I have a lot of points I would like to share as well with everyone, from building the networks and being able to be where it reached today. Now, where did it start? How did it start? It started, sometimes they say ignorance is bliss. Like you don't know what you're getting yourself into. There was in the recession, we just felt the pain. Everyone felt the pain. And, it was very hard to really get up there and act when you're hurting, especially you see so many people hurting. Usually people, they lack up. So you have a choice, like either you look around and you see so many families falling apart, and all these crisis organizations kicking in, and people cashing out. We're making organizations, saving the world. Crises that we can relate to the hurricane now. Thank God, we are involved in helping. A large amount of food being distributed through our networks. But in general, crises awaken people. But people do not understand prevention, and it's very sad to see that when I put together a plan of networks, of existing Jewish networks, that we could just intertwine all these networks and empower our own community, our businesses, create jobs, build networks of just information and direction, like what services are out there, what courses are out there. So many people were passionate. It was the beginning of the tech boom. I'm not talking about the .com boom, but I'm talking about people getting familiar with social media and Facebook, and everything was new then, and there were so many ways to be able to share information that we didn't have before. So I started gathering information. I started really with a learning program for people who had jobs, 5 to 7, and bringing in big executives, and to be able to help them, give workshops and seminars weekly, and it turned, and then it accelerated. And before we turned around, we forged connections with state and government and township, and anything where you could grab, when someone's drowning, when you grab a rope, whatever you grab, you just want to be able to, you'll grab on anything, even if it pulls you down, and just pull yourself up. So anything that can pull someone up, we reached out and said, we want to include you in our network to be able to share.
Can I interrupt you on that? That's such a fascinating concept that so many people are intimidated by, of this idea of reaching out and reaching up. So can you just walk me through a little bit that first time when you were approaching the executive? Were they people that you knew already through your business connections, or how did you have the nerve?
I was not only a nobody, but it was very difficult and challenging because it took me, I would say, 2 years to realize that I was a visionary. Meaning to say that, I just was passionate. I wanted to do something. I wanted to make a difference. I saw we needed to reunite and reconnect people. I saw so much talent out there with you know, each person had, and if you merge them together, they could just reestablish themselves. One guy had the talent in the bookkeeping, one guy had the talent in manufacturing, one guy had the talent in ideas, and one guy used to run a business, and just let them reestablish. Not, I'm talking about like training from starting up. And I brought together a big think tank, because after I had this big network built, I said, you know what, I want to make something called Parnassah Expo, and I want to share. I want to break it into 4 sections. I want to have, first of all, pull together jobs. I want to pull together all educational courses that are out there that people can find it in one place. I want to pull together coaching and consultings and advice for people, and also financing and all these things, and have training seminars, workshops, and broke it down to 4 things. I'll call it the Parnassah Expo, even though all this whole network was built, started from the Kail we started. It's amazing, you know. And today it's like the network's about Hashem. At least when you start something, you know, with the right foundation, with Torah, you know, this is really, it's turning over the world today. So it's, and so we were building this network, and I brought a think tank together. I said, I want to make this big expo. And they looked at me like I'm crazy. And I brought like these big CEOs and professionals, and like, are you talking about, I had a meeting with each one individually, spent months, and then bring them all in the room together. And you know, there were successful guys obviously can't understand people are hurting or whatever it is. And they say, you're crazy. There's so many shows, so many industry-specific trade shows. My company goes, we're in this business, we only go to specific areas, specific trade shows. I say, what are you talking about? Every business needs every type of service. You need jobs, you need training, you need education, you need resources, you need connections, you know. And they just didn't get it. So one guy, they denounced me in front of everyone, and literally like, the whole team fell apart, because they just struck me down, and I wanted to respect everyone's opinion. So I thought, if I'll speak again and I'll explain it again, they'll get it, right? Because you think eventually someone's going to understand you, but then you come to realize after 2 years of just talking and talking and talking and talking that not everyone's a visionary. There aren't many visionaries out there, and no, they won't get it, you know. So when I started realizing that people don't get it, I always did my own thing, and everyone, they used to bet against me. And it hit a point where people got up and said, listen, I don't know what he's doing. Obviously, you know, Baruch Hashem, Siyat Deshmaya, and you know, and he has the vision, and it's working. So we acknowledge we don't have to understand it, but we'll jump on board. That's how we started forming committees and different things, and being able to take this network to a whole new level. My vision from day one was, what's really, you know, very, very unique, is that I made my first PowerPoint on a global paper, showing how I want to build networks, and I want to be able to have in every community, like you have a Hatzalah, Tampa Shabbos, or any organization, I want to have Parnassah Network and Orthodox Jewish Chamber of Commerce offices in every community, with hubs, and everyone synergizes together, including Eretz Yisrael and everything. And the first comment I got from everyone and anyone I spoke to is you're all over the place, you know, like. And I'm trying to explain to them. And then we started a program. We have a job board. We have networking. We have coaching. We have expos. We have next week a tremendous conference in New York City, in New York Hilton, on Friday, September 15th. Everyone's welcome to go. If they're seeing it beforehand, you know, to go to our website, ojchamber.com. You can sign up for free. It's a free conference. Would cost hundreds of dollars in general for people to come with the information and knowledge we're sharing to help, you know, empower people. The booths are $600 for members, and in the city you're not getting that anywhere, because it's thousands of dollars to have opportunity to start a business. So we're here to be able to create a network of synergy and pull everything together as a Google, meaning to say that instead of rebuilding an organization in every community, and especially like you're from
San Diego.
Right. So the community is small, right? But so if you want to bring jobs, you want to network, you want to be able to empower and do different things, like, how do you go about it? You could spend a $5 million, you're not going to achieve it. But if you're part of a network and you have a satellite office of a chamber Parnassah network, like what we're doing now, you know, how we're talking online. So we have full-day training courses, launching a business, teaching people how to do Amazon, you know, shortcuts. empowering people and coaching and different things. And we set up all these programs. People could join us from all over the world if they can't attend. So everything we do is if it reaches all over. That's our model. So by setting up one Google where everyone plugs into to this machine, it's cost effective. It costs nothing for communities. They can use our existing programs, our existing services. All we need is a small skeleton committee in each community, and they're able to interact, and automatically there's outsourcing jobs, there's connections, there's introductions, and it's endless in the day-to-day operations, how we network with people from all over the world and help them, Baruch Hashem.
So was this for you, did you see that this was going to be a business for you, or that you saw that this was a passion for you, that people, and it's, this is a very important area that in my life personally, where there's a lot of people that will go through a career change or need to go through a career change. And, when I was working as a campus rabbi, and I just didn't know what the next step was. And it's so hard not to have that system set up.
I'm going to talk to you and laugh because I just told someone today, I was on the way over and I bought lunch, and I told them the reason that I started the organization is because I need a job. I'm still looking for a job. This is a hobby. This is something that I'm obligated for financial undertakings beyond anything. Devoro sitting over here, is a tzedekah. She, sits here, dedicates her life day and night to be able to keep on building the vision and helping people. And internally, we never really went out to, besides trying to get offering sponsorships and different things, to reach out to others to be supportive in a demeaning way, meaning to say that my vision was so big that when we built this organization, I did not want to come across as a hospital for businesses. I did not want people to be embarrassed to call me up to be helped. I did not want people to be embarrassed to come to our events and network. We just hosted an expo now, right? The largest Jewish business expo. We had the Danny Day on there. We had also Aaron Klein from Breitbart News that co-hosted. We had people. One guy was running for mayor in New York. He wanted to be there. Last year we had Jason Greenblatt as a keynote, and we have letters and letters of businesses submitting to us to get free booths or subsidized booths, and we approve it. We camouflage it in. No one on the floor knows that these people are being helped and how they're being helped. No one, they don't even know we're a nonprofit. And, from our end, it's a tremendous struggle, but from being able to see the fruits of someone calling me last week and saying that he just, from the business he started by us, he's 3 years ago, he had 10 kids and he was on every program struggling. And now we helped him get a line of credit for his business after we put a table out and he got exposure and helped him connect. We helped him introduce him to the banks and get loans. And he just, got upped his line of credit, and he said he wants to give a few $1,000s back to another business which will be able to start up. What's beautiful. So, but we don't advertise this. So up until now, really, I took all the bleeding because it was my vision, and I realized people don't understand it. And I used to go ask people to help me financially. And they said, I don't understand. If it's a business, you should be making money. Why should I give you money if you can figure out how to make money? And I said, I explained to them, I said, Tom Shabbos gives out food, right? You just write them a check. All these organizations, all they give out is money, right? We're not giving out money. We're subsidizing things. So help us, help others. Give a little dollars and we'll help them. Instead, no, it doesn't make sense. Either you have to make a whole business or give out, or you should have an organization giving out money. So I'm speaking on Tuesday by the Rabbinical, the Igod Rabbanim of America. They have a dinner once a year, and the topic I'm speaking about really is awareness of prevention. That's what we're lacking today. We have so many. We're so immune to prevention, and we're so into being Superman and having crisis organizations. And when we could have prevented families from falling apart, we put children at risk, divorces, marriages, heart attacks. It's endless, and every organization out there, the bottom line is 90% of them are ones where people don't have money. whether it's for Chas and Kala, whether it's for this. So if we're able to empower our community and tackle the problem by the root, like, why don't we do that? But the answer is because we're not trained to that. We are trained today to be Superman. So this is my personal struggle when I speak to people privately. I'm not saying publicly, because if I would go public and I'll write up, but now we are going public and telling businesses and people they can sponsor programs and individuals, because we're already up there and we network with big companies and small companies. So it's not embarrassing to call us and to reach out to us to be helped, because we're a whole big global business network, and we have from the biggest people to from communicating to the White House all the way down to the person just is starting off. So by us having such a network, I'm very comfortable coming out and saying people can partner with us and be able to get business exposure at the same time. We're able to grow our programs and help many more people.
When you were saying that there's like this root issue, is the root issue, what would you say that issue is, that so many of, obviously the problem is that people don't have enough money. They're not taught or aware or able to network in, and there's astronomical expenses that are facing families, and people don't have the skill set or the know-how to go about doing it. But like, what is that problem? Is it a fear? It's an inability to reach out, that we don't know how to network? Like, if you were going to solve like this specific situation that would really solve the problem, what would that be?
Well, the first thing is, it's so funny, I just spoke to Rabbi Pesach Kron today in the morning, okay? And I sent him a thing, because we spoke together by the Aguda convention 3 years ago to launch a program called Parnassah-based Knesses, to be able to have in every shul 2 people who we would approve of, who are sensitive and understand people, not telling them to do what they're not capable of doing and telling them do what I did, but being able to reach out to them and be helped and help connect the network. And we'll introduce them, they'll be part of a larger network and have resources and tools and know how to help these families and people through our network.
Can I interrupt and just reiterate exactly what you just said? So you're saying that you want to put 2 people in every synagogue who are conscious and conscientious to people that are struggling financially, and be able to, in a private and honorable way, reach out to them and sort of help them figure out how they're going to provide for their family.
Exactly,
It's awesome.
And it's much bigger than that, because they're all going to be intertwined with us. So we're going to have, like, every 2 weeks gatherings, and people share. Some people are looking to hire, some people have jobs, some people have businesses and they're struggling, other people know financial leads, some people know about government, state programs or different loans, or know people looking for their services, and they'll be part of our network. And we have all that, we'll share all our information. Now, every community by itself has different programs. Like now, New York City called us, they partner with us. They have a tremendous amount of services where we're able to offer through them to help people, but it won't work in a different state. So by every state and every place you do this. So what happened was, people like hearing problems, okay? Meaning to say that when me and Rabbi Pesach and myself spoke, right, the room wasn't so full at all. And we were really disappointed, because we were the only ones who came to that convention with solution. All the other rooms are talking about the problems, and we're here with a solution, and we're still struggling, trying to be able to, what's so complicated, to be able to have someone say, I want to support this program, I want to have this chus to hire this driver, because since we have so many different programs, we need to have coordinators for each program. Now, and by having a coordinator for this program will be huge. So I emailed him. I just Googled it today, because from another reason. And I said to the Pesach, you know how many views you had speaking, just not me? 7,300 views. Much more than anyone in the room, and much more than any other speech had. Okay? So, and we were laughing, because the truth is that's the world today. That's what we're doing by social media and connections and interacting. People get to, you don't have to have a full room. Like what I'm talking to you in my office, you're in your office, but you don't know where this is going to end up and how it's going to end up. It might even inspire someone to understand what we're doing. Obviously, a visionary, he's going to have to be, because otherwise they'll think I'm crazy. but we're always looking for people who do get it and understand. If we could be able to tackle this problem as a group, as a unity, what we're successfully doing. That's why we're who we are today. You know, they should just either say like, you know, I want to be part of this financially, have a source of helping prevention and tackling the problem from all these organizations from the root. Because I see what these guys are doing, and you can Google it and see it, and you're not going to finish with information. We have 3 events next week, and this week, and yesterday, a ribbon cutting. We helped a new business start and everything, and just and be able to, you know, strengthen this and to honestly say we are the only organization in the hit, not just in the Jewish world, but in general, who focuses solely on Parnassah in every area. Meaning to say that organizations or private, they do partners with us, they do great work, but they focus on 1 or 2 specific areas. But that's not a solution. Yes, if you want to go to college, or if you want to get a course, or if you want to help in a specific area, a social service type of thing, they'll help you. But to be able to call up an organization and say like, how can I be helped, right? I need this and this. So we help them with a coach. I just helped someone today earlier from Texas write a business plan. He wants to start a restaurant. So we helped him with a business plan, you know, from here. So we introduced him. I mean, it's so vast to be able to have one network and one organization that focuses from every area, whether it's training, whether it's job networking, whether it's business development, whether it's existing healthy businesses and helping them with needs they need. You don't have to be you don't even need to wait for business to fall on their face to help them. You know how many businesses would have fell on their face, and I have on the tip of my tongue names of stores and businesses that would have been on the face if we didn't give them the right person to help them run their books, or do inventory correctly, do payroll correctly, or cut expenses or management. So, but this doesn't mean anything to the average person because they don't see a guy dying and a guy getting revived. You know, like that's what we're trained for. So we're trained to be Superman. You know, people like to react, feel like they're saving the world. Like a guy could come to you a day before and say, "I need a loan," or "I need help in this," because if not, I'm going with nothing. No one's going to do anything. The next day, he falls in his face. All of a sudden, you know, emergency funds. You know, there was a person, the family of, you know, what I know about, they're struggling immensely. What happened was the father had a heart attack and he became paralyzed. And people were joking. They said, unfortunately, you know what his problem was? That he didn't die. You know, because they can't make a crisis fit, you know. It's sad, you know, but it's true. We have to, and I'm not criticizing anyone. And speaking of awareness and awakening, is that we have to understand that prevention is everything. Preventing children, you know, even for married people with drug abuse, you know, depression, health issues, you know, children in school. There was just a child, and someone came over to me, my wedding, a single guy, 23, 24 years old. He says, "Is Duvi Honig?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I want to tell you a story. I live at home, and my mother's a big social worker for 5 schools. And she had in a few of the schools children from different age brackets in a few different schools, you know, scattered out, and they came into the special ed courses by her, and you know, in the caravans, and she was amazed that every child had so many issues. And she came home. She used to talk about it. Like, it's so unusual. Like, they're in different schools and they have crazy issues. They had whether it's scholastic, where they had issues communicating. They had self-esteem issues. I mean, it was just endless. And then he tells me that one day his mother came home. Whatever. Recently, this is like going on for a year. He remembers talking about the family. And she couldn't get over that all the kids changed. So she started saying, what's going on? So she called in each child, from the young one to the older one. And they said, well, you know, what happened? You know, I see such improvements and your kids are really good to go. You don't need this thing, help anymore. And they said, Duvi Honig helped my parents get a Parnassah. You know, and it's really, it's an emotional story, one of many.
So that, I mean, that's such an important concept that you're suggesting, is that ultimately that if people had the ability to support themselves and support their family, they can get the medical care that they need, and they can go to the schools that they want. And the idea that it's not a problem to have money or to really focus on this, I think that's one of the primary things that a lot of us have to think about, you know?
In our community, because we're being so drained by pumping money into crises, right? Like one of the families we helped start a business was on so many government programs, and the whole community was involved in them. The children, the financing, the salim, the and the house, and I mean, I don't have to tell you how many hundreds of $1,000s you have to be raised for such a family, right? And now the guy's on his own, you know. So this is one of many stories we have. So the success is from the little guy to the big guy, you know. But in order to help the little guy, we have to be the big guns, and that's what we have established a big public policy committee. With like literally today, if you I don't know if you'll look online, you'll see the lieutenant governor running for to governor for the state of New Jersey put out a press release. She called me 11:30 last night to incorporate some of my sayings regarding the economy working together. And this is going to bring her votes. So you're talking about them recognizing our strength, and this comes from the unity of Achdus, because no other community could do this, to be able to help promote their own agendas. So this is the biggest Kiddush Hashem. It's something that I don't expect people to understand the strength of a network public policy. People see me with the U.S.-Israel Business Alliance mission going to Israel, Mike Huckabee, senators, congressmen, White House, you know, Trump administration, Cory Booker, Democrats, Republicans, they Rabbonim, they're so confused, you know, but they don't realize that in order to be able to help everyone, like yesterday I posted on my LinkedIn a picture of a ribbon cutting, what we did, we helped a business start in Lakewood. So one guy responds on my LinkedIn, you can see it, oh, I see you really, heart's really in Lakewood. Because you know, our headquarters now on 44 Wall Street, by the way. But like, I was like, I didn't even want to respond to this guy, because like, how small-minded are you? Like, our vision is the stronger we are all over, the stronger everyone's being helped. I'm not community-based, you know. Yes, the need in Lakewood is much bigger than anywhere, because you have college and a yeshiva, but of people graduating in such mass amounts right afterwards, and they have large families. So we created a lot of programs to stimulate them, and shortcuts to help empower them directly through, if a guy's in the business, every day, helping them network and get accounts. You know, again, it's not something we could charge a commission for, because the guy just got his job, and if he doesn't prove himself, he'll lose his job. So you can't always say, oh, why don't you, you know, what people will say. We have to, if we're going to start, if we're not going to be pure, we're not going to be able to help people. So we really have to be able to, you know, but we created, you know, training seminars where we charge $200, it will cost us $1,000 a head. We don't have subsidizing people really, but businesses will try getting sponsorships. Once I got a sponsor, and he saw that I served, he gave me a few $1,000s, and he saw that I served for breakfast eggs and bagels and coffee and blintzes and lax and scrambled eggs and anything you can think of. And then lunch, I had tilapia and salmon and salads and Caesar salad and ziti's, and he was going crazy. He says, "What are you collecting? You're spending so much money on food." So I got very insulted. I said, "I'm sorry, you know, don't give me donations, you know, because my goal is," I said, "you have a job, you have a business, right? So you feel good about yourself, wake up in the morning. These people are coming here to learn how to start a business. They're depressed. You know, this was more in the recession time. It's hard for them to get out of bed. They feel like losers, they're nobodies. If I treat them not in the conference room, and they don't feel like they're coming to a conference, even though they're paying $150, $200, but costs us way more than that, they feel like they invested and they're getting something, they feel important, and they get help, and all our presenters stay on as mentors and help them, you know, grow their business. That's part of we have limited to 40 people in a training seminar, and I'm going to feed them like kings, because I want them to feel special. And if you don't get it, so I don't want your donations. And it's a struggle because people always look for the negative. It's like even now there was someone just there was a recent story where someone also told me like there was someone we just helped someone. A bacher came over to me. He wanted to go to yeshiva in Eretz Yisrael. His parents couldn't afford it, and he was working in a deli counter. You know, like the average person will look at someone working at a deli counter like, oh, he doesn't want to, like he's not with it. And this guy's trying to pay for his tuition to go to Eretz Yisrael. So I was very touched. So I made a GoFundMe page to be able to raise money to help him pay for his tuition. And I said, I'll take care of it. You know, I didn't know how and what. Another project, I just couldn't not. I say no. And people start giving commitments. Comments. Why does he have to go to Eretz Yisrael? Let him stay in America. Like stupid things like why not to help? Like besides the fact that the yeshiva in Israel is much cheaper than America. America it's $14,000 plus, and over here in Israel it's a few $1,000s. And a ticket, and they don't know what to say. People just talk, and you get sick to your stomach when you see how people could be negative instead of just not judging and saying, you know what, let me be part of this. So we come through this all the time, and it's very challenging because building a network is like it's not even like going fishing. It's like fishing in a pond with 3 fish, because for every 300 meetings I have, I'll meet one person who can add value, and every meeting is travel and sometimes flights and training, and everyone gives you the eitzes and the deis, at this point, either you want to be part of this and you believe in us and what we do and you see what we accomplish, or we're not going to waste our time with them anymore. And that's pretty much the article I'm writing for Forbes now. I just was responding now about networking. I'm putting a whole article there. You contacted me, and that's what I'm telling them. Learn from my mistakes. Like when you run after the wrong leads and the wrong fish, and you think you have false promises, and you get lost and you have hope, all your eggs in one basket, it just doesn't work that way. Either someone gets it or they don't get it. And at this point, you can't argue with success. Like when you open your car in the morning, you go to drive it, right? You look under the hood, you look at the pipes, you look at the wires, the car opens and it drives, right? We're helping tens of thousands of Yidden in Parnassah every day in every area. If a guy is a plumber and he's very successful at it, or if a guy has an electric store and he's very good at it, that's what he understands. But he doesn't understand the guy who's an accountant, or he doesn't understand the guy who needs a specific skill or other need or anything like that. So why try to play like you're God's gift to the world? If someone needs a mentor in your industry, I'll send them your way, no problem. But trust us that we understand, a much broader picture to help every individual.
So I wanted to ask, and I know that your time is extremely valuable, so I appreciate so much of this. But I wanted to ask, the idea of you clearly you're a dreamer, and clearly you're a visionary, and clearly you're saying stuff that is entirely out of line with where most people are. And yet at the same time, it seems so unbelievably logical and makes a lot of sense. What could you say about the idea of not giving up, about the idea of driving towards what you want, despite the fact that everyone doesn't see it the same way? How have you done it?
It's an excellent question. Excellent. I have a quote, and you can quote me. I know, like the quote, like what's his name from England, the Prime Minister,
Churchill. Is that what you're looking for?
Right. So you can quote me for generations to come. And I say to people again and again, it all depends how you measure success. By me, the way I measure success, I'm always 100% successful. How am I 100% successful? Because by me trying is success. Because if I wouldn't try, I wouldn't even know the no or the yes. So I wish when I go to someone and I get a no, yes, get involved, not get involved, I mean, I'm happy. You know why? Because I'm successful. I'm moving on. So that's the truth, and that's how you build. And people who want instant gratification are the people who unfortunately are the same categories of people who mentality of today's world as us, coming and acting as Superman to save the world when there's a crisis. We have to change that. We have to understand that success should be measured by trying, not we don't control the world. Hashem controls the world, but the fact is, trying is success. When you try, you're 100% successful, and if you have that in you and you know it, you won't stop, because you're always successful. Sometimes I beg people for no. I say, just tell me if you want to, if you Google and you'll see the hundreds and hundreds of just presenters we had on high levels. So imagine the amount of networking we do from people, from presenting and getting involved in our networks and our communities. Now we started SBA, Small Business Alliance groups, all over. We're doing it in this, in New York, New Jersey, Texas, and business, and we started Health and Alliance committees. And other industries are breaking down the networks to empower people, all over the place. But going back to the amount of networking we do to be able to catch one person, over the summer I met with a lot of people, and I tried reaching this one, I tried reaching that one. I said the year's starting, and we have a lot of programs coming out. We really need more backing to help more people, because it's one thing if you can't help someone, right? But if we know we can help some people and we can't get to them quick enough, it's very painful, So we have to hire more project managers. We have to have, more of the services programs. What we have, each program is its own organization. We're very unique. Like, we have 14 organizations within one organization. So if I would start every program as its own organization, and people want to look at it like that, they go, wow, it's so great. But they all incorporate and work with each other. So even hiring social workers to be able to work through with people which programs can help them and how and what. So, I got one person who gave me a check, but Baruch Hashem, that helped us with one specific program over the whole summer, and everyone's always running after them. I'll meet you now, I'll meet you later, I'm busy, that is. So one guy's worth $1 billion, and I sent him a text and a voicemail. I said, listen, you know what, you should be running after me. Because he respects what I'm doing, I said, I'm offering you a schus for Rosh Hashanah. I'm not going to call you again. If you're an investor, if this is not an investment for you to be able to, make a difference in people's lives, and just support, that we should be able to continue growing what we're doing, and empower people before they fall on their face, that's it. I'm not calling you again, and I didn't, because you got to cut your losses also. Even the good people and the passionate, but they have to. It says that it's a schus to give tzedakah, charity, to the right places, right? And that's what it is. It's a schus for people to help empower people. The Rambam says the biggest mitzvah in the world is helping a yid with Parnassah. It's the biggest thing, because you're helping him help himself. And our motto over here in the Parnassah Network and the Orthodox Jewish Chamber of Commerce is we help people help themselves. That's what we do. We're here to help people help themselves. I am not here to take credit for saying I helped this one, I helped that one, this one. 2 days ago, a guy called me up from the Washington area, and he tells me that he helped. He says he's in a specific industry, and he wants to network with us, and he helped us with a few very good connections. And I said, wow, it's so nice of you. He said, what do you mean? My brother told me that you helped his Parnassah and his business. So I wanted to reach out to you and, be able to see how I could, make a difference for you. He tells me his brother's name. I don't know his name. I said, but that's my biggest compliment. I'm not here to own people. The average of the most organizations, unfortunately, they'll take a guy to help. They'll put his face on the video, and they'll make him pay his price, to embarrass him for being helped by them, or making people feel like they owe them. When we create our conferences, our networks, our networking events, our seminars, people feel like they're using their strengths, their skills, and they're meeting people through what their talents are, and they're able to implement it. And it's not us. I didn't give them the job. I didn't give them the company. I didn't give them the business. Yes, we created an environment where you could find the right, you get the information and the networks and the connections, and we're proud to not to physically say we don't want to verbally, not to say we don't want to own people. We want people to feel they did it on their own, and that's the biggest form of tzedakah, and that's what the network's about. Because the amount of yidden, networking and being part of such a network empowers everyone, every community, and we share the network with everyone. And by this time we look forward really having offices, satellite offices in every community, and being able to help generate jobs and business and empowering businesses and opportunities for the whole place.
That's amazing. Duvi, thank you so much. Could you please tell us how people can find out more about you and about your organization, please?
Well, they could Google me on LinkedIn, Duvi Honig.
It's Honig.
We have multiple websites, a lot of websites. If you go to ParnassahNetwork.com, it'll take you to a lot of them. If you would go to ojchamber.com, that's our chamber, you could find lists of hundreds, if not thousands, of businesses and members, and bios and network and connect with them. You could see our events, our press releases, and all those things. And if they sign up, if they want to be part of Small Business Alliance groups, they could sign up. They could see what programs we have. And our membership's free. We want to build a network to help Klal Yisrael. We don't charge for membership because our goal is to build a network that would empower everyone. And so ojchamber.com, they could see our next week's events, our big expo. People could come to the conference for free in the New York Hilton, September 15th. And they could follow us at ojchamber.com. Facebook, Instagram, they can follow us at OJ Chamber and see what's going on. There's a lot going on. And with Google us, there's a crazy amount of materials.
That's amazing. And thank you so much. I greatly appreciate the time.
Okay. Thank you. Pleasure.
There you have it, folks, another inspiring episode. If you enjoyed this, I ask you to please share this with your friends and to like us over on Rabbi Rupp through Facebook or on YouTube. And the more that we're able to get these important messages out, the more that we can really make an impact in the world. So I encourage you, please, to stay tuned. We have a ton of amazing speakers coming up, and also to tell your friends about it. Thank you very much.